Hi, class and Professor Williams. This is Erica King. I am juror number 3, and I am discussing my decision on the AU Bright Smiles case. They were accused of red flagging patients' files. In this case, I find for the defendant and that they did not violate the HIPAA rules. AU Bright Smiles followed all the procedures and regulations that HIPAA requires. In my research for HIPAA and after hearing the defendant, I find that the privacy rule establishes a set of national standards for the protection of certain health information. The Department of Health and Human Services issued the privacy rule to implement the requirement of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, or HIPAA. The privacy rule standards, they address the use and disclosure of individuals' health information called protected health information by organizations subject to the privacy rule, and they are called covered entities, as well as standards for individuals' privacy to understand and control how their health information is used. Within the Department of Health and Human Services, the Office of Civil Rights, or the OCR, has responsibility for implementing and enforcing the privacy rule with respect to voluntary compliance activities and civil money penalties. Although AU Bright Smiles Dental Clinic did red flag some HIV patients' files, they did not violate the HIPAA rule. One of the major goals of the privacy rule is to ensure that individuals' health information is properly protected while allowing the flow of health information needed to provide and promote high quality health care and to protect the public's health and well-being. With the public's health and well-being, that also included the employees. The rule strikes a balance that permits important uses of information while protecting the privacy of people who seek care and healing. Given that the healthcare market is diverse, the rule is designed to be flexible and comprehensive to cover a variety of uses and disclosures that need to be addressed. UA Bright Smiles Dental Clinic, according to HIPAA, it says that workforce members include employees, volunteers, trainees, may also include other persons whose conduct is under the direct control of the entity. And they must train all workforce members on its privacy, policies, and procedures as necessary and appropriate for them to carry out their functions, which is what they did. The defendant says that she trains her employees quarterly, and that often some other people come in to show them how to do it on the computer. So she did not violate that part at all either. HIPAA enacts rules and regulations to protect individuals' health information. There are several protections provided by the law which are important to people living with AIDS or HIV. HIPAA limits but does not completely eliminate the use of pre-existing conditions. Confidentiality means that personal information is private and may not be shared without their permission. The confidentiality of a person's HIV status is important because people with HIV face discrimination. Although the patients also sign consent forms to who may view their files, and then they're also allowed to view their patient portal. I find that the defendant is not guilty and they did not violate the HIPAA rules. HIPAA regulates